Hey guys, looks like it's beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. This should be a big treat. This is Building 8 from Building 8 the IPA from Building 8 Brewing. They are out of Northampton, Massachusetts. A lot of beers, a lot of great beers coming out of the northeast part of the United States now. These guys have got it going on up there, and they know how to make a really tasty beer. I've had so many wonderful beers sent to me that are not available here in Virginia, but are produced in the New England area or the northeast area of the United States. So very impressive so far of what I've been sent. And this comes from Dave, and he tells me this was canned on, because it doesn't have the date on the bottom of it, and he tells me it was canned on April the 18th of 2016, and I'm doing this review on May 17th, so it's one day less than a month old. Of course, time you see this, I'm a little bit ahead as far as the beer reviews. It's probably going to be a little longer than that, but I'm reviewing it when it's less than a month old, and I've had it about a week or so. And I apologize today for not doing it any sooner, but with all the beers that are sent to me, and I'm not complaining. Trust me. I wanted to get to it as soon as I could, and today is the day. So this is a big 16-ounce can. It says right on the back, 6.5%, 70 IBUs, and how Dave knows, I'm not sure whether it was put on the carton or case or how it was produced. I would think this is probably available in a 6-pack, being only 6.5%, but it may be a 4-pack. But it's a 16-ounce can, so a lot of times the 16 ounces are done in a 4-pack. So it may be written on the 4-pack somewhere, or like I said, on the case. But we really need these beers to have it on the can somewhere, or on the bottle somewhere when it was put in the bottle or can. In case you're in the store, and unless this is a brewery-only edition, like a lot of them are up there, they're producing so many great beers that they're only available at the brewery, and you have to go stand in line whatever day that they're releasing the beers, and they're usually bought up that same day. So they have no distribution. You buy them there at the brewery, you know they're fresh, and that's how far it goes. So I'm not sure about this. This is the first one I've ever had from Building 8, so we'll see what this brings to the table. Don't have a commercial description here, but we've got the IBUs, and we've got the date that Dave gave me here on it, and we've got the ABV, so we've got all three things that we need to know. Just would like to see it printed on each individual can or bottle, so however it may be. So let's get over to the food pairings. It's going to be your typical IPA, since this is a standard IPA and not a double IPA. Cuisine is curried in Thai. The cheeses are pepper, Monterey pepper jack, sharp blue cheddar, stronger cheeses. And the meat for this is poultry, fish, shellfish, and salmon. And now we'll add grilled meat, because everything off the grill comes off the grill, goes well with a nice, tasty IPA. Glass ready pint, Becker, Nolly, tumbler, mug, stein, Sidell. I'm going to use my favorite glass today with this. The solid beer glass, and not recommended for extended cellaring because it is an IPA and the hops will fade. That's why you want to drink them fresh, guys. As soon as you can get your little chubby little hands on them like I do. A lot of times I may have them a couple days or even a week before I get to them, but I try to get to these IPAs and the lower ABV beers and the pales and the lawnmower type beers, the low ABV beers, as quick as possible, because I want to drink them as fresh as I can. So, and everybody knows me, being a date Nazi, I harp on that all the time, so I try to review them in a timely manner too. So once again, Dave, thanks again for sending it to me, my brother. Don't think there's anything else we need to talk about, so let's pop the cap on this puppy. and see what Building 8 brings to the table. The IPA is what they got this called. Not just an IPA, the IPA. And this has been a 16 ounce here. I'm not going to get it all in there. And a lot of times when I pour it like this, and I leave all the juiciness in there, and then either pour her some or pour some more in the glass after I do my sips after the camera's off. It clouds up quite a bit. So I'm going to try to pour the rest of this in here before I go off camera, just to see if it clouds it up some. And it doesn't look very cloudy. It looks like a filtered beer. Very orange and tangerine color. A little lighter through the thin part of the glass. Very nice looking beer. About a finger and a half of head on this one. Nice and creamy on top. A little bit bigger bubbles around the outside. Let's get a nose on it. Oh my gosh. Wow, what a wonderful aroma. Pine, grapefruit, citrusy, very West Coast style. God, grapefruit. Some tropical fruit notes in there. Oh man, that's a wonderful smelling beer. That is awesome smelling. And the fresher you can drink these IPAs, the more of that you're going to get, guys. And in the taste too. If you put this in the fridge and you keep it 4 months, 6 months, it's not going to be nowhere near as aromatic as far as the pininess and the grapefruitiness and pineapple as it's going to be fresh. That's just the whole reason. And that's why Stone does their Enjoy By. It has a 37-day shelf life. Enjoy By this date. And it's not like a lot of the other breweries that have a 3-month, 4-month, even 6-month or longer shelf life on theirs. Stone does theirs with a 37-day shelf life. That's the only Enjoy By series or Enjoy By on the bottle that I can agree with, because we know it's a 37-day. Like I said, a lot of other breweries give it a lot longer shelf life than that when you see a Best By or an Enjoy By date. So I'd like to see the bottle on date. That smells awesome, guys. Wow, it's time to dive in. Let's do it. Let's get it on. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Dave. Oh, wow. That's delicious. Very well made beer. The pine, the bitterness, like I said, 70 IBUs on this. And it tastes like it too. Now that's getting close to the double IPA range. It's got a very strong bitterness on the back end. A lot of the hopheads love that. This is not a transitional beer. If you've never had an IPA before, this would not be the one to drink. This will blow your palate out of your mouth. It'll be way too bitter. But if you're a seasoned craft beer drinker, you're going to love this. Orange, tangerine, pininess, citrusiness, grapefruit, pineapple, tropical fruit notes. Wow. Very, very, very tasty. Wonderful beer from these guys at Building 8 Brewing. First one I've had from them. Very, very tasty. I don't know how many different beers they do. If all the rest of the beers they do are as tasty as this, a great brewery to pick up some of their stuff. Wish that some of these beers were available here in this part of Virginia, but they are not. Distribution in Virginia is horrible, and a lot of these smaller breweries just don't have the capacity to send them to other states. So if you're in the vicinity of, what I tell you, it's Northampton, Massachusetts, and you're a hophead, this will be the one to pick up. Now, like I told you before I leave camera, let's pour the rest of this in there and see if it clouds it up any. And it did. It clouded it up just a little bit. Especially through the big part of the bulb part of the glass here. So a little bit of chunkiness down in the bottom of it you want to get into your glass. One more sip before I leave camera. Wow. That's freaking awesome, guys. Delicious. Alright, let me take it in there and let her have a couple sips out of it, and sip on this for a little while and see where it ends up. Tastes like an A beer to me, guys. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here, but sipping on this about 35-40 minutes. Very tasty. Very, very well done beer. The only thing, even though Dave tells me when it was canned, I would like to see that printed on the can somewhere. From what I've read, they produce this all the time, so I don't know if they have a distribution where it actually goes to the stores or it's bought at the brewery only. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar enough with the brewery to know that, but it's very, very tasty. Got the IBUs on the can, got the ABV on the can, just don't have the date on the can. So that's the only thing I can say bad about this. It doesn't have the date on the bottom of the can somewhere. Other than that, it is a great beer. It is an awesome tasting beer. A lot of tropical fruit notes on this, maybe even some mango or kiwi in there. Very, very tasty. A big hop presence to this beer. A lot of pine and grapefruit and pineapple. A very, very tasty beer. A lot of great lacing left on the glass. Medium mouthfeel on this. Wonderful aroma. Very, very nice. Final chug. Wow, that is delicious, guys. And even though Dave was telling me when it was canned, I want to see that printed on the can somewhere rather than having him find it on a case or the 4-pack or something like that. Because if you're going to the store and buying this and it's not on the can, how are you to know? So whether it's distributed to the stores or it's a brewery only release, I am not sure of. So with the information that I have, I consider this a 10 beer, guys, in a 9 container. Even though I know, because he's told me when it was canned, I want to see that written on it somewhere. So, awesome beer. Awesome beer. Very well made beer. I would buy this beer if I could get it here in Virginia. Very tasty. Over to, like I said, I'm giving it a 9. Just because it doesn't have a date printed on it, that is the only reason I'm not giving this beer a 10. Even though he tells me when it was canned, I want to see that. As a consumer, we need to have that. And maybe they're a small brewery and they haven't purchased or can't afford it or whatever the reason why it doesn't have a date on the bottom of the can. It's irrelevant to me. We want to see that. If you're going to produce an IPA, especially as tasty as this one is, we want to see that date on the bottom of the can when it was canned on or bottled on. So 98 or even a 99 from me on that. It is kicking the door down to be a 10. And as far as the beer, if it had a date on the can, like I said, I would give it to 10. It's pretty damn tasty. It's awesome. Very well made. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 92 in the outstanding range. It is an outstanding beer. I think it's a lot better than a 92 though. And Rate Beer doesn't have any scores. They've got like 7 or 8 reviews on it. They must need 10 to produce a score and put it on their site here. But it's an awesome beer, guys. It's very, very tasty. You need to pick this up if you can get this beer in your area, especially if you're up in the Massachusetts area near Northampton. Like I said, don't know if it's a brewery only release. I don't know how big the brewery is. First one I've had from these guys. Very, very tasty. A lot of hop cones and vines on the side of the can. Nice artwork on it. And then if they can afford to produce a can like that instead of putting a shrink wrapper or a sticker on a silver can, they need to buy that dating machine. It's my 2 cents. And that's all we're going to say about the dating on it. Delicious beer. Very, very delicious. Dave, thanks again, my friend, for sending it to me. Very tasty beer. The guys in Northampton, Massachusetts area. If you're a hophead and you haven't had this, what the hell is wrong with you? Go pick it up. It's tasty. It's delicious. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about other than we're going to go see what's in the fridge tomorrow. So come on back tomorrow and let's take something tasty out of the fridge then. And to all my subscribers are sending me these wonderful beers, especially the ones out of the North American or the Northeast American or New England area. And a lot of the states don't like to be classified in New England if they're not up in the upper part, but everything is produced from Virginia up on the northeast side. They are doing some really tasty stuff here recently. All the stuff that's been sent to me from up there has been awesome. It's been freaking awesome. They are doing some really tasty stuff and giving the West Coast style beers, and the boys out there that brew those beers a run for their money. So very nice. So come on back tomorrow. Let's go see what we can dig out of the fridge. Maybe we'll get us another 9 or 10 beer. See you then.